was a peddler who sold caps. But he was not like an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First, he had on his own checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight so as not to upset his caps. As he went along, he called,
"Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap."
One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street calling,
"Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap."
But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody wanted even a red cap. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for a lunch. So he said,
"I think I'll take a walk in the country."
And he walked out of town, slowly, slowly, so as not to upset his caps. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. He thought,
"That looks like a nice place to rest."
and he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. Then he put his hand to feel if they were straight. First his own checked caps, then the gray, the brown, the blue, and the red caps on the very top. They were all there, so he went to sleep. He slept for a long time. When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own checked cap. He looked to the right of him, no caps. He looked to the left of him, no caps. He looked in back of him, no caps. He looked behind the tree, no caps. Then he looked up into the tree, and what do you think he saw? On every branch sat a monkey. On every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. The peddler looked at the monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. He shook a finger and said, but the monkeys only shook their fingers at him. This made the peddler angry, so he shook both hands and said,
"You monkey, you give me back my cap."
But the monkeys only shook both their hands at him. Now he felt quite angry. He stomped one foot and said,
"You monkey, you give me back my cap."
But the monkeys only stomped one foot at him and said, by this time, the peddler was really very, very angry. He stomped both feet and shouted,
"You monkey, you give me back my cap."
But the monkeys only stomped both their feet back at him. At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap, threw it on the ground, and began to walk away. But then each monkey pulled off his cap, and all the caps came flying down out of the tree. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First his own check cap, then the brown cap, then the gray cap, then the blue cap.
I think it's supposed to go.
It's okay. As long as on the very top is the red cap. And slowly, slowly, he walked back to town calling,
"Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap."
and everyone said, what? Caps. Caps for sale, 50 cents a cap. The end. Okay. sets here. Children are going to take their